Hello loves, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a very quick video and it's going to be chit chat style instead of voiceover. But today we're playing with pumpkin spice tones. We are quickly approaching the end of fall and moving into winter. So I can't believe it's already going to be the end of October. So I figured now would be the perfect time to play with pumpkin spice tones all over my face. Whether that was a good idea or not, I do not know, but we've definitely got pumpkin spice vibes going on. So we're gonna play with several different orangey tone products today, one being this pumpkin spice blush, which of course gives you all the pumpkin spice feels. We're gonna dive into the ABH Norvina 3 palette, which has quite a bit of orangey tones. Granted, a little brighter than a pumpkin tone, but it's okay, they'll still work. And then for me, the star is the Fenty Beauty Mimosa Sunrise Kilowatt shade. This particular one is definitely orange, pumpkin kind of tone, so we're gonna put that on the eyes together. And then lastly, we're gonna also do a pumpkin tone lippy. So there's a whole lot of orange going on. If you love pumpkin spice, if you love pumpkin spice tones, heck, if you just want to sit and play with makeup together, then just keep on watching. So we're gonna use the ABH Norvina number 3. This is my favorite out of her lineup. Well, I don't know, maybe her latest one is, but this one has a lot of the very punchy, very pop of color. I don't know, it's brighter than the rest and I really like that. So there's several oranges in here, maybe a little brighter than I would like for a pumpkin spice look, but they will work. They're orange tones. So I'm gonna go in with the shade A2, and this is a Morphe brush from a holiday set a couple years ago. I do like the Morphe holiday sets quite a bit. So just gonna place this in my crease, and I try to go in with a light hand so it's not as much blending, but yeah, I usually layer up a couple of times anyways. So just placing this down, so pretty. And I felt like once I was done with this eye look, it almost gave me a little bit more sunset vibes than pumpkin spice vibes, but it's okay, we're gonna roll with it. So now that that's done, hold on a sec. Okay, so this is pretty much done. We're gonna go in with a deeper shade of orange. So I'm going in with the shade A5 right here and a Sonia Kashuk blending brush. Blending crease is what it's called. So just placing, I'm actually gonna pack quite a bit on here, tap it off, and then just place it right here on the upper, what is the technical term for this? Who knows? But basically on the outer portion of my crease, but blending down onto the lid. So, and this is not going to be the deepest shade that we use. We're gonna go in with one more, but just so that that effect, that gradient effect is there, I'm placing this right here. It's really easy to, when you're working with like multiple of the same tone, I find for me that it's honestly pretty easy to blend, because if you get messy, it doesn't matter. They're all the same tone, so it almost looks like it was meant to be that way. So let's move into the deepest shade at this point. It's the shade C2, and it almost looks a little bit more red than orange, but once you blend it in, it kind of just all works. So almost in the same place where I just placed that last shade, I'm just kind of bringing it in slightly so that some of that still peeks out. Come on, did I seriously just do that? Okay, we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. So anyways, just placing this right here. Again, I'm being kind of messy with it. Doesn't matter because it's blending into that other shade. And it is red, but you can kind of see that like as I'm blending into the orange, it's kind of taking a little bit of an orange tone. I feel like this is the easiest look we're ever gonna do. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're gonna go in with, can you guess? My Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer. I'm gonna place this down where I'm gonna put my main orange shade, they're all orange, but the shade that's primarily gonna go all over the lid. So just grabbing a little bit on here and then just laying this down. So for the actual lid shade, we're gonna go in with the Fenty Kilowatt Foil in Mimosa Sunrise. It's from her summer collection, I don't know, 2-3 years ago maybe. And I rarely use these, but I thought, you know what? I feel like that is actually the perfect pumpkin shade. So ironic that it's a summer collection, but kind of reminds me of orange juice. And I think that's what she was going for. But look how pretty that looks. And it is very pumpkin toned. So obviously this isn't like the most metallic shade or anything. It's kind of a satin type of finish. You guys know I love a little bit of a pop when it comes to metallic finishes. So we're going to add a little something after this, but just placing it down with my finger the way I would typically do. And then I'm just going to go in with a brush. This is a Sephora brush from, again, a holiday collection a few years ago. And I'm just going to grab some on there, quite a bit actually. And then I'm just going to place it in where I can't reach with my finger, which is where my lid meets my crease, where I have that those little bald spots. So just taking this in there and then bringing it up into that reddish orange just a bit. And I'm going to kind of put a little bit in my inner corner. We're going to put a sparkly shade over top of that, but there we go. And then all I'm going to do is take my little Sonia Kashuk blending brush with no added product, and I'm just going to kind of blend those two together so it doesn't look so, so that line doesn't look so visible. All right, so then let's move back into the ABH palette. So now I'm going to go in with this shade. It's almost like it's more of a gold than it is an orangey shade, but it does have a hint of orange. So that is what we're going to use. I'm just going to grab a little bit on my finger and just place this down with the fingernail that has no nail polish. So this, I am literally just putting the slightest bit right smack in the center of the lid, just so that it pops a little bit. So there, I'm like not going to spread it out anymore. That's where I'm going to keep it, because I can go a little extreme and then it ends up taking over. So that being said, I'm going to go in with just a little detailer brush, and now I'm going to go in with the shade C1. This one is definitely a gold, but I feel like there wasn't any other lighter orangey shade that I could put in the inner corner that wouldn't look too dark, if you know what I mean. So then just going to place this here over top of that Mimosa Sunrise that I added into the inner corner. So this is, listen, I apparently love to buy holiday brush sets, because this is another one from a holiday brush set by Sephora. I love the little stars in this handle. This is probably my favorite one they've ever come out with. So I'm going to go back in with that red orange shade right there. And then this is, I think, like a shader brush, but that's the beauty of brushes. You can kind of use them for whatever works best for you. Oh, hold on a second. I got to tell you, I did mix this and this. So it's got a little bit of both. And I'm going to place this on the lower lash line, the outer and inner. I'm going to leave the middle blank or empty, whatever, because we're going to go back in with the Fenty shade just to kind of match what we did on top. So that's pretty much it for that palette. Let's go back into the Fenty. So I'm just gonna basically same brush. I didn't really clean it off or anything. I just kind of, you know what? If it all mixes, it's kind of like when you're eating something. It's all going to the same place if it mixes. There we go. So good. I feel like it's so eye-opening when I have one eye done and one eye not, because it just goes to show how much lashes add to a look. It's crazy. So, okay, that is pretty much it for that. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do off camera, because it is harder for me to do this on camera. I am going to add brown liner to, I'm going to tight line with brown liner. I'm not adding anything on the lower line, on the waterline. And then I'm just going to add mascara and lashes. So let me do that, and then we'll be right back for cheeks and lips. All right, so the eyes are done. Let's move into cheeks. I'm gonna use the Jouer Bouquet d'Amour palette. This has been, it's one that I don't reach for often, but it has a couple of my very favorite blushes, one of which we're gonna use today, and it's called Treasure Me. I really don't have anything like this in my collection, so I feel like, kind of like with eyeshadow, when you can get those unique products, those unique shades in your collection, because you've got a lot of repetitive shades and it always makes it extra special. So this definitely reminds me of pumpkin spice, and you have to kind of go in with a light hand on these because they are very pigmented. So I basically dabbed in there just a couple of times, and then we can always build if necessary. So, oh my gosh, it's so, so pretty. Now it does have almost like a shift of gold, which I typically don't like a lot of gold on my cheeks, but this one, for whatever reason, because of the orange tone, it just works. So now I'll start building it up a little bit more. And this is about, oh, what we're gonna go in with. Yikes, that was a little much. Okay, hold on. I even think I still have the film on this mirror and it's looking wonky. So let's do this. Oh, wow. Okay, we gotta blend this out a little bit. See what I mean by it being super pigmented? Oh gosh, but it's so, so pretty. This definitely is pumpkin spice. Okay, oh, so, so nice. Okay, let's move into lips. Now, for lips, we're gonna use actually one of the products I recommended in my Sephora sale recommendations. This is by Rare Beauty, and it is called the, I forget what these are called, the Matte Lip Cream. This particular one is in the shade Brave, which obviously is the orange tone. These are so good because they are pigmented, but it's like a lip mousse. So it goes on a little bit lighter. It's definitely not drying. It doesn't have like a staying power like your typical long-wearing liquid lipstick would, but it lasts for several hours before it starts fading. So I'm gonna put this on first, and then I'll kind of add a little lip liner. Because I don't have an orange lip liner, we're gonna have to use a little bit of brown. Gosh, this is so pretty. This is like orange overload though. So literally when I say pumpkin spice everything, like pumpkin spice everything. So now I'm going to use just a Kylie lip liner. This may not even be deep enough, but it's in the shade Au Naturel. I don't think it's going to be deep enough to make a contrast, but we're still going to try. Okay. I don't think that did a whole lot. It added a little something, especially to the bottom, but didn't do a whole lot. But this is the finished look, you guys. This is a whole lot of pumpkin spice on my face, maybe a little brighter on the eyes than your typical tone of pumpkin and or pumpkin spice, but nonetheless, very fall. Whole lot of orange. Take from it what you will, but I hope it inspires you to pull out your orange tones before fall's over, because we are rapidly heading into winter. Alrighty, my friends, before I let you go, I will leave you with a quick verse of the day to encourage you and motivate you, to tell you that Jesus loves you. Today's comes from Philippians 2:3, and it says, "In humility, consider others better than yourselves." We live in a very selfish society. It's all about me. It's all about what I want. You have to be good to me. You have to think about my feelings. But in essence, we really should be thinking of others, considering others better than ourselves. So it is my encouragement to you to be kind to others. You don't know what other people are going through, and you have the power to change somebody's life. Or let me rephrase, Jesus has the power to change somebody's life through you. So that being said, if you don't already know Jesus as your Lord and Savior, it is my prayer that he would make himself very real to you. If you've been thinking about calling on him, just talk to him. That's what prayer is. It is my prayer that your heart would feel that love and peace it has never felt before. Thanks again for stopping by, my friends, for spending some makeup time with me today. I will see you in the next one. So until then, stay safe and stay well. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.